Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive.
Always a pleasure to be back.
Today we're going to be diving into something,
Sounds intriguing already.
yeah, it's definitely something, all right? Microsonic energy.
Microsonic energy. Okay.
Yeah, have you heard about this?
I've heard the term thrown around, but honestly, I haven't really dug into it. Lay it on me. What is it all about?
So basically it's this whole idea about,
Okay.
being able to convert radio frequencies.
Like the stuff we use for our phones and radios and all
Yeah,
that?
exactly, into usable energy. Like think about it.
Okay, that's a pretty big idea.
Yeah.
I mean, we're surrounded by radio waves all the time, right? If we could actually tap into that,
Yeah, if we could actually pull that off, that'd be incredible.
it'd be game-changing.
Totally game-changing. So that's kind of what we're going to be looking at today. We've got some excerpts from this text that really goes into,
Okay.
whether this is legit science or just kind of,
Like science fiction.
yeah, science fiction, total pipe dream.
All right, I'm hooked.
Yeah, so we'll see what we can find out.
Let's dive in.
So one of the first things that jumped out at me in this text was this guy, Maxwell Chikumbutso.
Chikumbutso. Okay, the name means a bell. He's the inventor, right?
Yeah, he's a Zimbabwean inventor who claims to have actually built devices that can use this microsonic energy.
So he's saying he can actually power things with radio waves.
Yeah, he's claiming he can power cars, homes, all sorts of stuff, just using this.
Hold on, seriously.
Yeah, and he even says,
Wow.
this technology is the future. It will change the world.
Bold statement.
Yeah, super bold.
I mean, if it were true, it would be revolutionary. No more fossil fuels, no more power grids.
Yeah, it's a massive idea.
But, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, right?
Exactly.
What does the text say about the evidence for his claims?
Well, that's where things get a little messy.
Messy how?
So it seems like Chikumbutso has gotten a lot of attention, like he's been featured in some news articles and even on TV.
Okay.
But there's not a lot of independent scientific verification of his inventions.
Independent verification, that's key.
Yeah, like there hasn't been any peer-reviewed studies published in scientific journals.
That's a red flag for sure.
And a lot of scientists are straight up skeptical.
Skeptical. How come?
Well, they say that this whole idea of microsonic energy kind of violates some of the fundamental laws of physics,
Like what?
particularly the laws of thermodynamics.
Ah, thermodynamics, always a party pooper.
Yeah, thermodynamics is kind of a big deal in the physics world.
For good reason. It governs how energy works, and it's been tested and confirmed countless times.
Yeah, so for our listeners who maybe aren't physicists, could you give us a quick breakdown of like what thermodynamics is and why it's relevant here?
Sure. In the simplest terms, thermodynamics is all about how energy is transferred and transformed. It basically tells us that you can't just create energy out of thin air. You have to get it from somewhere. Like, think of a car engine. It burns fuel to create energy to make the car move. The energy is transformed, but it doesn't just appear out of nowhere.
So relating that back to microsonic energy, these scientists are basically saying that pulling usable energy out of radio waves without any other input
Right, without any other source.
would be like creating energy from nothing.
Exactly. And that would violate a core principle of thermodynamics, the conservation of energy.
So it's kind of a big deal.
It's a huge deal. Thermodynamics is one of the most well-established theories in science. If something claims to violate it, you need rock-solid evidence.
And it sounds like that's what's missing in this case.
That seems to be the case. We have claims, but the scientific evidence to back them up just isn't there.
Okay, so we've got this inventor making these bold claims, but the science community is basically saying we need more proof. So where does that leave us, and what should our listeners take away from all of this?
Well, I think the big takeaway here is the importance of critical thinking, especially when it comes to scientific claims.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't just accept things at face value.
It's natural to get excited about revolutionary ideas, especially ones that promise to solve major problems like our energy needs. But it's crucial to look at the evidence, see if it's been independently verified, and understand the scientific principles involved.
And be wary of anyone who claims to have overthrown a fundamental law of physics.
Exactly. Science is a process, and it's constantly evolving, but those fundamental laws are pretty solid. They've stood the test of time for a reason.
Okay, so bottom line, while the idea of microsonic energy might sound amazing, we need to approach it with a healthy dose of skepticism until there's more science to back it up.
Precisely. And remember, even without microsonic energy, there are so many other exciting and viable alternative energy solutions out there that are being developed and implemented.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Solar, wind, geothermal, these are all technologies that are making real progress, and they offer proven ways to transition to a more sustainable future.
Exactly. We don't need to put all our eggs in one basket, especially one that hasn't even been woven yet.
And hey, who knows, maybe one of these other alternative energy sources could eventually have a global impact that rivals even the theoretical potential of microsonic energy.
Right. And I think that brings us to a final thought for our listeners to ponder.
Okay, hit us with it.
Let's just imagine, for a moment, that microsonic energy is somehow proven to work.
Okay, I'm suspending my disbelief.
What would the implications be? How would it change our world?
It would be massive.
It would change everything: our energy infrastructure, geopolitics, the environment. It's a mind-boggling thought experiment, and it's a good reminder that science can surprise us. So stay curious, stay critical, and who knows what breakthroughs the future holds.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Thanks for another great deep dive.
Always a pleasure. See you next time.
Catch you later.
If this tech tutorial was helpful, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. For more detail, you can visit our blog website www.evergreentechtips.com.